Good evening and welcome to the state championship game here in Oklahoma. We are coming in live from the University of Central Oklahoma, where we will have a rematch that we saw back in the very early echelons of the regular season. The Gore Pirates coming in number 5 in the state of Oklahoma. They have made a Cinderella run, and they are going to look to finish the job here tonight, taking on the Clinton Red Tornadoes, filled with Division I players and coming in heavily favored. But this Gore Pirates team has found a way to win once. Can they beat this Clinton Red Tornado squad a second time? Should be a fun one here today. Make sure you smack that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do have to be brand new to the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off the Oklahoma State Championship between Clinton and Gore High. And Clinton will actually defer to the second half, so the Tornadoes will start with the ball. And the key is to try to slow down Melvin Tisdale. He's not someone that is having as successful of a year as this time last year. He had nearly 1,500 yards last season. That has been cut in half, but this is a very dangerous offense filled with Division I players. But we could force him off the field early on a 3rd and short as Tisdale tries to get the carry but gets dropped in the backfield. The Gore Pirates, his very own Cyrus Harris, brings him down and finishes the job. And we also get pretty good field position. Got a good kick return. So we're looking to get the first points of the game, and that's one way to do so. The senior wide receiver, Jody Gentry, with a 17-yard scamper. And that means the Gore Pirates will have a first down. Very next play, the backup tailback, and Mark Sasser. He's going to take a carry himself and gets ahead of steam for a pretty good gain. He picks up a gain of 8 on the play. And it will set up 3rd and short. We're going to pick up yet another 3rd down. Thompson drops back. Is going to find the senior tight end, one of the greatest security blankets in the state. Joe Mitchell is going to pick up a gain of 7. And that does allow the Gore Pirates to continue their drive. But can we finish that drive, though? It's off to a promising start. But gotta finish the job. The job is far from finished, as we now have a 3rd and 5 yet again. Third down of the possession. Looking over to the left hand side. He wanted Joe Mitchell again, but he misses high. Could have been a touchdown if it was a more accurately thrown ball, but instead we got the kicker Jake Hills coming out and attempting a decently long field goal, and he's gonna sink it through. So it's not the 7 points that we were looking for. We will take the lead. And not only will we manage to take the lead, in the meantime, we actually forced Clinton to go 3 and out yet again. So with that being said, our offense is back out onto the field, and it starts out pretty well once again. A 1st and 10 from about midfield, where we hand it off to RJ Valencia, who bounces it to the outside. You can tell that Clinton has plenty of athletes on this roster, but we are out scheming this Clinton team as Joe Mitchell is going to get loose on his own down inside the 5-yard line. First down, Pirates. And once again, the Gore Pirates are going to threaten in the red zone, and this time they won't be denied. Touchdown, Pirates, as RJ Valencia gives those Gore Pirates a 10-0 lead. So a great start for the Gore Pirates, as we'll kick things off yet again here in the University of Central Oklahoma. Paris Brown, one of those Division I prospects, gets the kick return, takes it down the sideline. He's going to eventually be brought down by the junior safety Porter Lindstrom. But that is going to bring an end to the first quarter of action. Your Gore Pirates are playing pretty well overall already, with a 10-0 lead to work through right now. That being said, we go ahead and jump into the second quarter of action as they trying to set up the halfback screen. Gets it out to Tisdale on the edge, and Melvin Tisdale almost picks up the first down. We read it like a book, but we just could not execute defensively. So instead, it's going to be a 3rd and short coming up for the Tornadoes as they'll try to hand it off to Tisdale, who gets met behind the line, but takes a couple of guys for a ride, and that is still going to be a first down for the Red Tornadoes. Drive will continue as they'll go right back to Melvin Tisdale, who does pick up a handful of yardage, but a more difficult 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 6 upcoming. We got Tisdale in the backfield once again as Swanson hands it off to Tisdale, and it's going to be brought down, but not before reaching that first down marker. And that means that the Red Tornadoes, they are going to go for it here. They are feeling spicy here in the state championship game. Tisdale gets the handoff, gets to the corner. Oh, but it's missed. Oh, baby, Savion Simmons had an angle. He just tripped on his own feet. You can't have that in these state championship games right now. Nor can we have these types of penalties. Just shooting ourselves in the foot here, particularly on this drive. And that means Isaac Smith does get called for the face mask. And it's going to be a red zone opportunity for the Red Tornadoes, who go for the end zone. But Billy Swanson leads his receiver out of bounds. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 9. Swanson in the pistol formation sends his tight end over to the right-hand side to possibly chip for the junior Chase Henry. Billy Swanson will drop back. Of course, we drop 9, and they still find a way to complete the pass and pick up the first down. Oh, baby, we cannot have that right now. We cannot be giving up plays like that, but we did. And so 1st and goal coming up, and Melvin Tisdale, well, he had to earn every single yard, but it's going to be in the end zone. Touchdown Tornadoes, and Clinton High is right back in it. So we're going to be in need for an answer, as Clinton could be poised to take the lead if we come up empty-handed. But hey, you know what? Our receiving core came to play today. Gonna need a balanced offense here if we want to have a shot to beating this Clinton squad a 2nd time nonetheless. And so far it seems like it's working. Both our running and our passing has been effective, as Thompson wants to scramble. He's going to be chased down by multiple Clinton guys, but escapes the pocket. Picks up every single yard possible as a freshman quarterback picks up 16. And this is a kid that is incredibly tough, and he has a chance to take this all the way, but it's going to be forced out of bounds. But it will be a red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Thompson is going to take it out onto the perimeter, and it goes for a gain of 7. But Tahoma Thompson gets hurt. He does come back a couple of plays later after we used one of our timeouts. Was not paying attention to the clock, but RJ Valencia does find the end zone, though, and it goes for yet another touchdown. So 17-7 is going to be your score, as that does mean we have a 2-score lead. Billy Swanson now is going to try to respond for the Tornadoes, as Billy Swanson did try to keep it on the speed option. Didn't really go anywhere, only a gain of 5. However, on the next throw down the field, he finds Scott Van. And while it's not a big gain by any means, it does move the sticks. However, we send the blitz on 1st and 10, and it was read like a book. Isaac Smith is able to make up for the face mask penalty on the previous drive. And Isaac Smith is going to give your Gore Pirates an extra possession to work with. Let's go, baby. You absolutely love to see it. 17-7 lead right now, as Thompson's going to drop back the pass. 1:33 left to play here in this first half of action. Can capitalize on this extra opportunity, and Tahoma Thompson understands the assignment. looking to continue to capitalize as Thompson, he gets loose down the field and finds the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates! And Tahoma Thompson finds the end zone. A scamper for the freshman quarterback. And that's exactly what you love to see. A 24-7 lead going into the half, but it could get bigger because we have one more shot at the ball. Tahoma Thompson rolls out to his right, fires at the last second, and finds Eston Griffin inside the 35-yard line. However, Tahoma Thompson did get shaken up. So, the senior quarterback, Matt Gimatar, comes into the game. He checks it down to Delano Tosa, who puts the ball on the ground. So, losing Tahoma Thompson right before the half, well, certainly not ideal by any means. But, as long as we don't give up anything on this final play of the half, we should be alright. But Clinton is not taking this into halftime, interesting enough. They actually call a timeout with 1 second left. That leaves one little heel down the field, and Isaac Smith gets his hands on the ball yet again. Another turnover force, and Isaac Smith gets his second interception, and that will take us into halftime as your Gore Pirates do enjoy a 24-7 lead. So, with that being said, we got the second half of action officially underway. Because we did defer to the second half, we actually start this third quarter with the football. Problem is, though, our senior quarter, Dalton Baratine, he puts the ball on the ground, and that's a massive shame because you see what our defense has been doing here at the half. Less than 100 yards allowed. And this is exactly what you don't want, giving a team hope to come back, because Clayton's got some dudes. But so do we, as Porter Lindstrid lights up Melvin Tinstrid in the backfield after the missed tackle by Isaac Smith. And now we're looking at 2nd and 16. Very next play, Billy Swanson is going to take it off of the play action and does pick up more than his fair share of yards. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but still a daunting task nonetheless, dealing with a 3rd and 7. Swanson throws over to the left-hand side and just runs into a body of defenders. Quadir Johnson will be credited with the tackle, but it's going to be a 4th and 1, and the Red Tornadoes know how to convert these. Swanson looking around, fires to the left-hand side, and a miscommunication. Should have been an easy pickup on downs, but instead we'll take over at about the 30-yard line, and that does lead us to an injury update. Tahoma Thompson did get a concussion on that previous drive to end the half, so there will be no more Tahoma Thompson in this game. From here on out, it's Matt Gimatar trying to take us to a state championship, or at least trying to finish the job. But one thing that is beneficial to having a senior quarterback as the backup, he has a firm understanding of the offense. Don't have to change things schematically too much. Just got to make the plays. And, well, Matt Gimatar still needs to get warmed up a little bit. Should have had that completion, and usually does in practice. But 3rd and 7 coming up, though, as Matt Gimatar drops back. Looks over to the right-hand side. A dangerous throw. One almost picked off by Hassam Davis. And that means your Gore Pirates are going to have to punt this ball away. So now, 4:30 left to play here in the 3rd quarter as Swanson fires over the middle and finds Justin Collier, another Division I caliber wide receiver. He gets it for a 1st down. However, a couple of plays later, though, Billy Swanson will try to throw over to the left side yet again, and it's going to be picked off. Billy Swanson just having a difficult time today. Billy Swanson gets picked off by LaQuin's Cobb, and that was a key interception for sure. It felt like the tide was starting to shift a little bit. But let's see if we can get something from our offense here, as we're going to try to lean a little bit more on RJ Valencia. Maybe we just don't need to put as much pressure on Matt Gimitar. That being said, though, got a 3rd and short coming right up as Matt Gimitar is going to look to go to work as RJ Valencia gets the carry and picks up a few yards there on the play for the first down. As now, 1st and 10 from about midfield. Gimitar drops back, wants to throw over the middle, and finds Beef Wellington. Beef Wellington will move the sticks yet again. A quiet day overall for Beef Wellington, but making those critical first downs when it matters. Let's see if we can get another one here as 3rd and short comes around. Tries to throw back over to Beef Wellington. He did have him, but it's incomplete. And because it's a little bit of a danger zone for our kicker, Jake Hill doesn't have the best of legs. He's going to try to go for it here on 4th down, but nowhere to go. One of our offensive linemen has to fall on it. And so that does end up meaning that it's still going to be 24-7 because of that failed 4th down conversion. So hopefully, as long as our defense can hold it down, and oh baby, are they holding it down all right. That hit by Brant Danielson was absolutely something else. 3rd and 10 coming up, though, as we try to get a 3 and out. Swanson looks over the middle on the slant pattern, and Porter Lindstrid cannot get there soon enough. That's the biggest play of the day for Paris Brown, but will be enough to keep the drive alive. Another 3rd and 10. Swanson looks over the middle, finds Petaway, and Petaway tries to get away, but will be brought down. So a 4th down coming right up. But first and foremost, we have gotten to the end of the 3rd quarter, and we are officially 1 quarter away from Gore's first state championship in school history. Can they finish the job? So, with that said, we now go ahead and jump right into the 4th quarter of action, starting with a 4th down conversion that they desperately need, and Melvin Tisdale is able to break us some tackles, and not only picks up the first down, but also gets across the 20-yard line, and they are not being patient any longer. This Clinton squad, all of a sudden, well, they are certainly going a lot faster. 3rd and short coming up for the Tornadoes as they'll get a play action going for Swanson, trying to throw over the middle, but just couldn't get everything onto his throw. Just rushed the mechanics there. Would have set his feet, probably would have been absolutely fine, but hey, we'll glad we take a 4th and 3 without any issues as Swanson looks over to the left-hand side, finds Tisdale, desperately trying to get to the first down marker, but he will be denied. A 4th down stand for the Gore Pirates, and with less than 6 minutes left to play, the prospect of being a state champion is becoming all too real. All you gotta do at this point in the game is just take good care of this football. Don't have to do anything flashy at this point. As now we got a 2nd and short coming up, going with the option, and Gimitar does get loose, hands it out to RJ Valencia, and RJ Valencia is forced out of bounds, but it's a 27-yard run, and that is going to be a major gut punch to the Tornadoes, because it allows us to work this clock a little bit more. As now, Jody Gentry, he's going to make a catch, his first catch in a country mile minute, and so now staring down a 3rd and 5. 5 wide set, would love to convert. Gimitar looking right, and Jody Gentry is going to drag the feet, keeps it in bounds, and you know what, that looked a little too close for comfort, so we're going into our no huddle real quick. Make sure this play counts. Yes, it does, and Gimitar might have an open guy, and he does! Jody Gentry finds the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Pirates. So with less than 4 minutes to go, we got a 24-point lead. A very firm free possession game and they need some miracles to happen. Can they get a spark from Isaiah Coleman II, who is now going down the sideline? Eventually is brought down. And oh baby, did they need that special teams play? You see that game summary. We've been wiping them off the field right now. But 3:55 left to play. The clock is certainly not on their side. 1st and 10. Swanson looks over to the left-hand side and throws a dot to Paris Brown. And Paris Brown is going to get down, but not before picking up 30 plus. It sets up a goal line opportunity, but that clock is ticking. And that clock is ticking quickly as Pat Lindsay finds the end zone. First touchdown pass of the day for Billy Swanson. It has been a struggle for him, but maybe figuring out our defensive game plan a little bit too much. We will also go for the 2-point conversion as they dump it off to Melvin Tisdale, but he will not be so fortunate. Quadir Johnson does actually bring him down. So now they're going to have to rely on these onside kicks, actually trying to pick one up. And hold up now. Wait a minute. They actually secure the onside kick. So this game could get a little bit more interesting now, especially if they score yet again. We'll see if our defense can hold it down, prevent the quick score. Swanson drops back. We send the blitz, but it's a perfectly thrown ball to Collier. And Justin Collier is able to get out of bounds, trying to stop the clock temporarily. But Clayton is looking to move. 3:12 left to play in the game. They could have gotten us on offside. Swanson looking to scramble. He is out of the pocket and is lit up by Porter Lindstrid, not picking up the first down, and also not stopping the clock either. Clock is certainly in our favor right now as he throws to the right-hand side. Pat Lindsay is able to pick up a gain of 9 on the play. As now 1st and 10 coming right up. They're still in their no huddle as Swanson's going to throw over to the left-hand side. And they're going to call a flag. They are actually going to call a flag on this. We got to stay more disciplined than that. I expect more from Quins Cobb, who has plenty of playing experience at this point, because he wasn't really going anywhere, but we made him go somewhere because of that penalty. So, you hate to see it, but it is what it is at this point. As now, less than 2:30 left to go, just looking to get any time off this clock. We get caught with a flag, and Justice Collier is able to find a soft spot in our defense. Touchdown Tornadoes, and that is even with the offsides penalty. So they double dip on that particular play. So here we are. We're trying to run the rest of this clock out. And if we can pick up this first down, we should be okay. Obviously, we did pick up the onside kick, but Matt Gimentar, bro, just never had a chance. He never had a chance to get rid of that ball. And all of a sudden, this gets very interesting here in the final 2 minutes. If Quinn scores, it becomes a one-possession game. Swanson looks over the middle and finds Lopez the third. He gets behind our defense, and JL Free is going to score. Touchdown Tornadoes. Oh my goodness. I thought we cooked these guys. I thought we had them cooked. And all of a sudden, the shoe might be on the other foot. And Quinn's going to go for the 2-point conversion. 2 yards to make this a 3-point game. Swanson in the pistol, drops back, looks around, and is gonna be incomplete. So that's an incomplete pass. It's still gonna be a 5-point game, and it's still gonna come down to an onside kick. Quinn's got one earlier today, but they will not be lucky for a second time. Mark Sasser is going to recover the onside kick, and your Gore Pirates are going to be state champions. Let's go! The Gore Pirates have won it! They have won the state championship in a thriller! A surprising thriller that we almost blew, but we still are gonna be state champions. 31-26 will be that final score. An historic day. Alright, so we sweated that one out a little bit more than what I wanted to do originally, but hey, it's all good. We were able to handle business at the very end. Tahoma Thompson had an excellent game before he suffered his concussion. Ended up going 8 for 9 for 166 yards, was a threat on the ground. Matt Gibatar got his most meaningful playing time of the season. He wasn't terrible, but he also, he wasn't as dynamic offensively than what we were under Tahoma Thompson. That's why Matt Gibatar was the backup this year, even though he was a senior. Now, for the running backs, a lot of the load came to RJ Valencia, especially in that second half. He was okay, 22 for 89, did have multiple touchdowns. Again, Tahoma Thompson was our biggest threat today. Meanwhile, for the receivers, Jody Gentry caught the only touchdown pass today. He had 4 catches for 66 yards in this one. Joe Mitchell wasn't too far behind though. His last high school game, he had 3 catches for 66 yards. And finally, the defense was phenomenal, except that fourth quarter was a little dicey in the fourth quarter, but we got it done. Brant Danielson led the team in tackles though with 7 total tackles. Porter Lindstrom not too far behind, 6 total tackles in his campaign. He did also have multiple sacks as well. He had 4 sacks with Jamie Fletcher, Thomas Holsky, Chase Henry, and Isaac Smith. They were all able to get to this quarterback. And speaking of Isaac Smith, he might be my defensive player of the game. Multiple interceptions in this one. Waquin's Khan playing in his final high school game as well. He had 1 interception as well. All in all, it was a pretty good performance given the circumstances, but most importantly, we are state champions, baby. Let's go!